we were very adventurous. I think that's where my sense of adventure probably comes from, my childhood there, doing those kind of things.
I like how you say that you were really athletic. Right before we started recording, she's like, yeah, I'm kind of moving slow and tired. I just ran a 10K yesterday. Like, and as if it's for all of you that
10
listen to the
miler,
show,
10 miler.
like for all of you listening, like, you know that I don't run. And so for someone to say that they run a 10 mile, not a 10K, a 10 miler, let's get that straight. A 10 miler.
4 extra miles. Mm-hmm.
So I mean that's pretty intense. That's pretty crazy to me. So like, who were you as a child? Like, were you kind of a bubbly person? Because I see you today and I feel like you're kind of a bubbly personality. You bring a great energy to the room. Who were you as a young girl?
So I always like to talk a lot, according to my family. I was always social. I remember I used to get in trouble for inviting people at church to dinner at my house because I would tell people, "Oh, my mom made, the menu for the Sunday afternoon," and it was funny because actually the chaplain at the base we were stationed at in Greece, he actually showed up. Him and his family showed up. I think most people at the time were like, a little kid, don't mind what she's saying. But yeah, they actually took me up on it. And that was a lesson learned. Yeah. There were consequences.
There were consequences. I could just imagine your father, like, he's sitting down to dinner and all of a sudden the doorbell goes off, walks over and opens it, and there's the chaplain and his family, like, "Oh, yeah, we're coming over for dinner. We were told by Cynthia that we should." Oh,
yeah,
that is so
I think
funny.
I've always had my personality has always been about bringing people together. Like, and it's very interesting because I'm actually an introvert. So I like being by myself. But I also just like to fellowship with people for a certain time, not all day. Because it really
There's
is
a
draining
certain
for
amount
me.
of time that you're allowed to visit with people, and then you have to leave.
Yes, absolutely.
I love that.
I think it's good for the soul. You need it, right? Because the laughter, yes, I can laugh at myself and I can laugh by myself watching something, but when you're with other people, it's just like you and I, we've been laughing, since we started. So
nonstop. I'm sorry for all of you here.
We have always had a very laughter-filled exchange.
Yeah, it's true. And that's one of the things that I've always loved, like, interacting with you. It's joyful. There's a lightheartedness about it. And that doesn't mean that we don't talk about, deep things, but there's a lightheartedness that comes around when you're there, which is, I think that's really fascinating and really awesome. So as a young girl, I would imagine growing up in a military environment, that was kind of intense. What was that like with your dad? Like, what were some of the early lessons that you remember from your dad teaching you?
Always make your bed. That was always make your bed.
Before it was in any book, always make your bed.
I don't even know how old I was when I knew how to make my bed by myself, but all my life, that's all I always knew. It's like, always make your bed. So before I went to school, you had to have your bed made. Again, there were consequences if you did not. But but yeah, that to me was a big lesson. I think I realized more of what the lesson was as I got older, especially as I started to, get into minimalism a little more, and also just, it makes your house clean, makes your room clean, right? And it's like that one thing that you do that probably takes 90 seconds to 2 minutes to, make a big impact in how your room looks. So, that was one of the biggest lessons that he taught me as a kid, or, I had to go through that experience being in a military family.